Yeah, baby. Shower episode. Ha ha ha. All right. Well, in addition to finding new ways to embrace the pause button, I did have some thoughts in the shower that made me literally have to get my phone and record a few things before I forget them. And yes, I'm literally stepping out of the shower. So you'll have to deal with the whole stupidity of me drying myself off while wearing earbuds to record with. Sorry for that. But again, welcome to my house. This is how much I like all of you. This is how much I trust you. And this is how much I'm glad I have my bedroom window blinds shut. Why did I have to go get my phone in the shower? Well, two things. Well, probably more than two, but let's see if I can get two things out of my mouth without forgetting them. Number one, I did figure out why my phone occasionally slips into recording in its low quality mode. Because whenever my Galaxy trips into having too little storage space indicators, it does things like automatically change your settings from record in high quality volume to record in low quality volume. Thanks, Samsung. Assholes. You only gave me 16 gigabytes with which to store stuff on this phone. And for those of you saying, we'll just store it to the external SD card, the storage to the external SD card has resulted in the end of the episodes being clipped. So I've stopped doing that. And in addition to that, I've never rooted a phone or done anything of that capacity to make this a more functional device. But don't think I wouldn't do that in the future, because I do have another one of these that I can just mess around with. So I may get better at this just in that capacity. Let's see. I have to take my phone out of its protected sandwich baggie so that I didn't drown it in the shower. So let's see. How am I going to do this? That did that work? Let's go look. Apparently yes. So that was one thing that I needed to jump out of the shower and say, it wasn't my fault. Samsung did this to me behind my back. Which, if we're being honest, with an Android phone, I might as well just say every time I sign on. But in addition to that, I know that I just recorded the 36th episode, so that makes this 37. And I do think 37, 38, 39, and 47, 48, 49 should be episodes where I revisit the theme that I visited in 27, 28, 29, which is why I think the universe as it exists is my fault. How I could have been any one of you, and then the next steps I'm taking to try to fix everything. I think those three concepts are worth revisiting, not just now and in the next two episodes, but one more time before I sum up this first 50, which I have called Wate.Wut. And in traditional fashion of wanting to be original, I had to Google the universe to see. Originally, I was going to call is this a podcast? I don't know. I was going to call my diary Wate.Wut, because I think those two words really describe sort of the experience I've had in shifting programming from whatever service pack module I was playing to the one I'm playing now. So many things about life feel like I have the response of, wait, what? And yet some other clever people have already decided that that's their moniker online or whatever, their channel. And so rather than overlapping with all the other clever Wate.Wuts, I've, believe it or not, did not find a whole lot of overlap for the phrase, it's all my fault. And if I'm going to call the major project, it's all my fault, then I think these three concepts of why this universe is my fault, how it is that I could have been any of you, And then what I'm going to do to try to make this better, well, that's kind of my response to, wait, what? Anyhow, so there you go, a little structure, little, as it develops, organic embracing of something that thematically, I think, has, at least for me, personal resonance across the first foray here. I bought a shower curtain liner today, and it's one of those stupid things that, number one, takes you like 12 trips to the store before you finally remember, oh yeah, I need a shower curtain liner. So I was glad, and this time it actually made it onto a list of things that I needed, because it had gotten to the point where I hated the shower curtain liner in the shower that much that I stuck a note on the fridge to remind myself to go get one. But I haven't put it in yet, so I did take one more final shower with the crappy one that's in there, and the crappy one that's in there is just an example of how the universe is all my fault, because there's absolutely no cause for that to have ever been produced into a shower curtain liner. It doesn't even really exhibit the properties that define one, in the sense that it will not stabilize in a position of protection to keep water from leaking out into the shower, the non-showering area. It is that cheesy and crappy a piece of plastic, and I know where it came from, because I know that the person who purchased that was Lily. And if there's one thing Lily is unfortunately completely afflicted by, it's that buying the cheapest possible thing is always the best possible option, because that means you've got more money to spend on other insanely cheap shit that's worth nothing and will just break on you and not serve its purpose, like that shower curtain liner. And when she got it, I looked at it, and I believe it came from a 99-cent store for 99 cents. And I said to her, it's not even feasible that will work. And so she took the one down that admittedly had a slit in it, so it leaked water for that purpose, and put that one up, and it's been up ever since. And this has been like, I don't know, an embarrassingly long time. I want to say somewhere between 9 and 16 months ago. And the stupid shower curtain liner has upset me ever since. But what have I done about it? Nothing. Because A, it's impossible to remember to buy a shower curtain liner. But B, because, well, it's just so trivial of a concern in my life that it doesn't make the list of priority concerns enough to elevate into a space where it's an active agent that I'm working on. And that's another way that I feel like the universe is mimicking me or mocking me, is how it seems like there's a whole host of stuff out there that we know is problematic and frankly is underperforming and is something being utilized at a capacity in which it is not even really doing the job that it's intended for. But we're too busy with other shit to get to that stuff. So we're just letting it all go. And I mean, think about your daily life. You know, whether it's the top of your kitchen trash can lid that you need to clean because it's filthy, or it's the junk drawer that you can't even find a decent twist tie to close a bag with, or it's your car glove box where you know there's a flashlight, but in an emergency you don't even know if it has batteries that work. I mean, we're capable of letting ourselves be distracted enough, busy enough, otherwise occupied enough, that we're losing our attention to detail. And if we're not attentive to detail, then we can't build a case against the major issues of our time, because they take work, they take incremental work to get processes distributed to replace processes that exist. Even if those processes are clearly and in all capacities capacitors even, superior. So attending to the little detail matters. And it has never mattered to me. You know, treat a rake with such disregard that it breaks halfway through your rake job. Go to Walmart and get another shitty rake. Or find a rake at a garage sale that was built in 1964 that's still viable. Care for it in the condition that it's in so that it continues to rake for the next 20 years, and enjoy the fact that you did something better for the universe than contribute to the mass garbage pile that we're currently sending to countries in Africa and other third world areas of the world, because God forbid Americans would haul their own garbage into their own pits of despair. Let the Africans deal with it. Noble creatures that we are. Well, that's not my point, but letting the little details go was something I was awesome at. So awesome at, I got capable of letting the big details go. So I know what I'm talking about here. And I know we've let the big details go. And I think it's because we're inattentive to that which matters, which is that we get the small details right, the ones we really have control over. And when those are friction filled, we can correct them in a coordinated effort to bring something better to the whole system. And this includes things like investigating corruption, or improving our educational system, or tackling our healthcare dilemma. These aren't issues we're going to solve by not being attentive to detail. And we owe it to everybody we currently embrace as a member of humanity to do better here. And if I was the worst at this that existed, well then I've got the most to contribute by being better here. But I know I'm not the only one who has let these small details start to slide away like they're unimportant. Stop doing that. The only difference between being on time and being somewhat late is paying attention to being on time. And the only difference to taking care of the small details and letting them all go is remembering that small details matter. Not just to how your day is going, how your life is going, how your next steps are going to feel, but to everybody around you. If we disregard the small details, we'll disregard each other. And that is something I no longer will accept.